Thanks for joining me again as we look back at another great classic film. This is a little-known German film that was based on a true story that, if it was a work of fiction, few people would find it believable. It stars a popular star of the German cinema in what is a charming comedy. It is Der Hauptmann von Kopenick, or The Captain from Kopenick from 1956. This film is based on the true story of Wilhelm Voight, a man with a long criminal history who in 1906 purchased an old captain's uniform and wore it to the local army barracks, where he ordered 4 grenadiers to follow him. At a nearby shooting range, he commandeered 6 more soldiers, took a train to Kopenick and occupied City Hall. He instructed the police to care for law and order and to prevent calls to Berlin for 1 hour at the local post office. He had the treasurer and mayor arrested on suspicion of corruption and confiscated 402 marks, the equivalent of about $50,000. He commandeered 2 carriages and told the grenadiers to take the arrested men to Berlin for interrogation. He told the remaining soldiers to stand guard for half an hour while he left for the train station, changed into civilian clothes and disappeared. While he was soon caught, the public found his exploits amusing, and he was pardoned by Kaiser Wilhelm II after serving only 2 years of his 4-year sentence. Voight appeared as the captain of Kopenick in plays, variety shows, restaurants and amusement parks around Europe, and published a book, How I Became the Captain of Kopenick. The story was adapted into a German silent film in 1926, and then a 1931 play by Karl Zuckmayer, with the screenplay for this film adapted from Zuckmayer's play. Heinz, one of the most popular German actors of the 20th century, was cast as the captain. Ruhmann appeared in over 100 films between 1926 and 1993, and is best known for playing comic ordinary citizens in comedies, with his best known films being 3 from the Filling Station, The Punch Bowl, The Captain from Kopenick, and It Happened in Broad Daylight. During the reign of the Nazis, Ruhmann was intentionally silent on matters of politics and was largely left alone, despite having 2 Jewish wives during that period. Director Helmut Kautner was active mainly during the 1940s and 1950s, but is relatively unknown outside of Germany, despite being considered one of Germany's best filmmakers, primarily for his sophisticated literary adaptations, though this film was a popular departure for him. The plot heavily emphasises and satirically criticises the German proverb Kleider machen Leute. The English translation is clothes make the man, in the context of the German Empire's militarised society, in which the military is afforded all the social privileges while the average person is left with nothing. This version was the first to be made in colour and contains vibrant colour cinematography. The last half hour of the film focuses on comedy and is very entertaining. The film won German Film Awards for Best Film, Best Production Design, Best Actor for Ruhmann, and Best Director and Screenplay for Kautner. It was screened at the Venice Film Festival, the Edinburgh International Film Festival, and the San Francisco International Film Festival, and nominated for Academy Award for Best Foreign Language Film, losing out to La Strada. The following year, Kautner was brought to Hollywood by Universal to make The Restless Years and A Stranger in My Arms. Neither film received critical success, and Kautner returned to Germany due to unhappiness with his lack of creative freedom. The story has been adapted for film and television in 1926, 1931, 1945, this version in 1956, 1960, 1997 and 2005, as well as a 1958 episode of the BBC's Television World Theatre. It was adapted into the Kenyan comedy The Captain of Nakara in 2012 and bears some resemblance to Nikolai Gogol's Russian classic The Government Inspector from 1836, which also explores the case of a town being duped by a character impersonating an authoritative figure. Lots of good reasons to watch this film. Despite the language and cultural barriers, I found it funny, entertaining and a fun-loving film. The art design is good and the colour palette is very engaging, with Heinz especially good as the central character, and the fact that this is based on a true story makes it particularly fascinating. It's a film you'll get unexpected enjoyment from. So what I'd suggest that you do is that you go to our website, find our virtual screening page, find the link to this particular film, click on it and watch it. As always, see what you think, and we'd always invite you to come back, let others know your thoughts about the film, and let us know if you'd recommend it for them as well. And then we're back in the not too distant future for our next classic films review. See you next time.